Do your long rests. Welcome, everyone. Do your long rests. Welcome, everyone.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
we
how it
love
goes.
this.
Welcome, everyone.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
that's how
Stop
it
it.
goes. Welcome, everyone.
I feel so welcome. I feel so welcome. I feel so welcome. Oh god, oh god. I feel so welcome. Oh god, oh god.
Make it stop.
It's finishing it. Its
Make it
rounds.
stop.
We're in a terrible hall
It's
of mirrors.
finishing it. Its
Make it
rounds.
stop.
We're in a terrible hall
It's
of mirrors.
finishing it. Its
No, it keeps
rounds.
going.
Stop.
No.
We're in a terrible hall
It's
of mirrors.
finishing it. Its
No, it
rounds.
keeps
really
going.
exciting.
No.
I'm gonna open it up on Twitch and then not
It's
view
really
the Twitch
exciting.
page. I'm gonna up on Twitch and then not.
Okay. What's going on there? Oh, I know. They had two windows open. Okay, we should be okay now. So I use my laptop for my view in on our stream usually. But today I'm also using it for my Sirenscape and I'm porting all the audio to the stream. So when I went to listen in, it just looped and looped and looped.
I'm just wondering when everybody is going to get with our sweet, apparently semi-official Mage and Rage haircut. I'm just looking at like, how, at least four of us are going buzzed or lower.
Yeah, I'm not ready to give this up.
Bald cap.
I'll
There you
just,
go.
yeah, you'll just see me with the bald cap next time.
Yep.
So, welcome everyone again. After that audio
You know how it
blip.
goes. Yeah.
So
Hello, good to be here.
last time, you guys ended up at the Bone Brambles. Finished at the Bone Brambles. Had a lot of fun there. You made your way through and you found a fun bag that you're not sure what it does yet.
But we
Yeah.
know that it's fun. So
Yeah, you just need to stick your head into it.
We could send a captain through and see what happens. You know, commission a captain.
Commission a captain. Get a new one.
We'll be like, your captain cosmonaut. Go forth boldly and tell us what's on the other side.
So, who wants to head up with the recap? Anyone? If not, I can.
So last time, after a nice little camping trip, we finally went into the Bone Brambles in search of Red Ruth, or Red Ruth Sayer, a fortune teller. No, prophet, oracle. Let's go with oracle. And we, well, I don't know. I don't know how they feel about that term. I guess no, it's just self-applied. Yeah,
She's
I like
probably
it.
into it. In fact, I think she's super into it because she called Mad Maggie a half hag.
That's a great point. That's a great point.
In a super derisive way.
Not even a whole hag.
Yeah, there's a whole hag out here for this. And yes, we were in search of the whole hag and we were wandering around these weird brambles which were made out of bone, and they played all kinds of tricks on us. Made us think that they were cool staves when it was just a dang pillar of ash, very biblical. There was a zombie for a bit. Actually, I think the zombie's still around, isn't it?
The zombie
Well,
friend.
Yes.
Probably
Okay.
dead by
Can't
this
forget
point.
that
Had one hit point left.
Eleanor has their one hit point zombie friend. Although I don't know, I guess they could spend some hit dice during the long rest, right? Yeah, so after much journeying and a few fights with giant plant things where both Pelinar and Lulu almost died, we finally made it to Red Ruth. And she was like, "Oh yeah, I'll tell you where these big movers and shakers of Avernus are if you pay me 3 soul coins. And we're like, oh, 3 soul coins? Okay. But then she was like, if you give me a spa appointment, maybe I'll cut you a deal. And we were
Yeah.
like, well, that sounds more like us. So we took the deal, and now we've got to make our way to this
Hell spa.
weird hell spa emporium that's got like shops and restaurants, maybe. But before that, we made a quick deal with a I don't remember what her species is, but
She was an
Sexy
Uranus.
what?
Uranus.
Uranus, with an Uranus who came, and basically she wants to be the new queen of the wastelands. And she was like, "Hey, I'll kit out your Hellmobiles to be able to use burn spell slots instead of soul coins, but in exchange you have to pledge your loyalty to me in terms of eliminating some rival war bands." And we were like, "Yeah, all right." At least 3 of us were. Some of us were like,
Patrick
not so
did not
cool,
sign
cool with the whole signing.
I
deals
did
with
not
levels
sign
thing.
it.
I
I was like, Infernal Pacts, did I not just tell you a whole story about how Infernal Pacts are bad?
I'm pretty sure I made 2 infernal packs last time.
So yes,
I
we
just-
ended with her little pit crew fixing up our car, and now we're ready to go. I'm sorry, what were you saying, Micah?
Oh, I was just gonna say, Mon thought she was a very pretty lady.
I think
That's how they
everyone
reel you in.
everyone
get-
was very yeah.
Lick
You want a
Story's not
deal?
on here yet.
Sure.
You're pretty.
Can I do anything else for you? Okay.
I wonder if she has like a whole kind of quasi-Amazonian like war band of hot infernals.
Well, I think
Americans
we
like,
saw
I
some of the
enjoyed
pit
that.
crew, and they were like rat people or something, weren't they? They were like more of the rat people.
Her simp entourage.
Yeah, I think
But there may be more sexy Uranuses there, you know. You
But,
roll that out.
it might have been kobolds. I don't remember.
Oh, okay. Okay, kobolds are fun. Oh man, it's been forever since we saw. I don't think we've fought any kobolds in this adventure, which is just really out of the ordinary for D&D.
Yeah, no kobolds. Yeah, I think that pretty well covers it. You have two war machines that can run on spell slots. The Tormentor still runs on soul coins. The Devil's Ride and
That's all my
Tormentor.
thing anyway.
Yeah. The Devil's Ride and Tormentor have 16 hours left on them. The Demon Grinder has 2. Yeah. That about covers it. Who needs a card?
I do.
I do.
I do.
I think I'm okay.
So that's 3. So first is going to be Mon with the 10 of Swords.
Ooh.
How I became a hero to my family, name, clan, or tribe.
I want to hear this, Mon.
Ash needed one, right?
Yes.
That is the 6 of Cups. This is preventing me from reaching my goal.
I've had that card before. Could I have a new one?
Yep. The world.
Nature.
My life will feel complete when ... And Petra, the 5 of rods. I want to be the very best at.
Like no one ever was.
It really just said I want to be the best at, but I had to throw the very in because... did all saints need one, or are you good?
I think I can still work with the one I got last time. I don't think I used it.
Okay. And Mary Penn Bellin are good?
We're good.
Oh, some last minute housekeeping notes. Make sure that everybody removes 2 rations from their inventory. And what are we going to make in the alchemy jump today?
Water.
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 More mayonnaise.
Let me drink water.
I can't keep drinking mayonnaise.
I can't keep drinking mayonnaise.
Your
It's too
skin is
painful.
just all oily now from all the mayonnaise you've been
Oh my
ingesting.
god.
So moisturized.
Uh-huh.
I think my scab skin is clearing up.
Well, if we ever run out
Oh,
of
yeah, you
rations, we have
still
a
have that.
source of nutrients at our disposal, so you're welcome.
Oh, we also learned that there is a corner of Mon's tiny hut that you definitely don't want to sleep in.
Can't pee in it. It's the pee corner.
Yeah, because Mon can't leave for the duration of the spell, so... Because if Mon leaves the hut, it goes away.
peeing corner.
This is my tiny hut. I get to choose where I can pee.
Oh,
Please.
let's get to where we were. So, you guys left off at the Bone Brambles. I will show you. Maybe. I did some resizing of the war machines to make them a little bit more fitting, I should say.
Hot damn. That's a big boy.
It's a big old truckosaurus.
Loaded.
So,
I believe it.
oh, and
Load.
if you notice, there are now pings.
Yeah, it looks like you're doing like a orbital targeting. You're like targeting an orbital strike.
So,
God.
incoming meteor.
Or angry
Nuclear launch
expressions
detected.
on your face. Whatever works.
So, you guys left off here. You finished a long rest. So, if you did not already, go ahead and take a long rest. You should be able to double click on your tokens. And there is a bed over your icon that you can click, and it should fix up all of your stuff, I think.
A bed over icon?
Or well,
Just in the upper right is rest.
yeah, it depends on which sheet is
Okay.
active. Because you have different sheets
I want the one with a
available.
bed.
Yeah, upper
I
right
can
or on your portrait, depending on if you're set up.
I don't see anyone else. I only see myself in a small corner of the map.
I may borrow Connor for a second because I'm not seeing it.
Do you have your character sheet up?
Here,
Yes, I do.
I can give you guys rests. I can do it for you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you have a different sheet.
Oh.
What?
Are you lagging?
Please load. I
Your
don't
Wi-Fi
see.
is just really bad upstairs.
My map is. Oh. Are there 2 tokens of me?
I don't know. Oh, yep, there are.
I see 2 tokens.
Uh-oh. Today's episode will be eliminating
Which one?
Mon's doppelganger.
Who's the... I'm spinning. The real one would spin.
That's what the doppelganger wants us to think.
Mm-hmm.
Spin.
My computer.
Turn Dana or her double.
Hmm.
Mon wants to come inside. He feels fine.
I think I'm messing this up because.
Hold up. I'm trying to take care of you, Petra.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
I'm spinning.
Also struggling a lot.
Yay, I see it fixed. Nice.
Try not to
Wait,
do
now
so much spinning.
I
think
can't
that-
control.
Uncontrollable spinning.
Oh, now I can control it.
Yeah, I think don't do all of the spinning. That was really
Okay.
lagging me out.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Oh no!
Amazon Web Services cannot handle this much spinning.
Oh wait.
There's too much spinning going on.
Jeff Bezos is running down a hallway and slapping a button.
Tony,
Yes.
you may need to give a rest to Lulu as well. Okay, good.
Yep.
All right.
I'm on it.
I was watching. I moused over her and I was like, badly injured. Oh my goodness.
My baby.
Yeah. So,
Judgy baby.
so all your tokens are long rested, everything.
Except for the zombie.
It's true, the zombie needs a rest. Although, how long do you think you have to recast it to keep him in your control, right? Well, that hasn't been 24 hours yet, so.
Yeah, 24 hours it dies.
It
Can we just say it rest?
it doesn't die. It just goes off and does its own thing. It's no longer under my control.
It just wanders.
You know, zombies
Yeah.
don't typically do good things when they're not under somebody's control.
Maybe they'll just play more rock, paper, scissors, you know?
As a
We
death,
caught-
so in
Maybe.
life.
We taught them there's a new way to view the world. So
Yeah,
Look.
we taught it not to ever go back into the bone ramble.
Hey,
Uh.
my AC on the Foundry thing still says it's 15, and it's not 15.
What is it
Is that
supposed to
because of
be?
your freaky
It's
deaky
supposed to be
scabs?
16 because of my scabs.
Your fell
Oh.
scabs?
Yeah, your scabs. There's no item for scabs, so
Oh god, those haven't gone away yet.
nope.
No,
Were they
no,
permanent?
they're permanent.
I am just going to make your shield a +3 or a +1 essentially.
Okay.
It.
If
Do
you
what
pick
it's
them
supposed
off,
to.
do they regrow?
Have you
I
done
don't
that?
think I can pick them off. I've
have
never
to
tried to pick them off.
Marypin, stop picking your scabs.
Man, stop
I'm
picking
not.
Mary Pen scabs.
I would do that.
You sit and pick your scabs.
I know I'd pick someone else's scabs.
Ew.
Okay, so you make your way, you load up into your war machines and start heading out to try and find the emporium.
Yeah.
Yeehaw.
Okay, can somebody roll a d20 for me?
I'm on it.
Like how everyone jumped on that.
The
Okay.
demon grinder did it for us.
Thanks, Demon Grinder.
Thanks, Demon Grinder.
Such a helpful machine.
So you take off. Go.
Who is driving the car? Because I think most of us were going to go in the big one, right?
I'll take the devil's ride.
And are you going to load up the demon grinder before you go? It only has 2 hours left on it.
Yeah, I'll give it a spell slot.
Okay.
Cool.
Go,
Oh my
a-
gosh.
go ahead. What is that? A 4th level?
Yeah, I only have 4th level spell slots.
Go
What?
a-
Wait, what?
Yeah. Warlock.
Warlocks are weird.
Yeah, they are. Go ahead and give me a Constitution saving throw.
Click on my person, go do saves, hit Constitution. Did that add anything? It did a +3. Okay, which is all it should add. Yes.
So, you fuel in and gain 4 more hours to the demon grinder, so it's got 6 hours. But you feel another spell slot be consumed in the process.
No! I told you these infernal pacts. They're crap. Total crap.
Well, Sace is like trying to get his hex going. He's like, wait a minute.
Oh.
What's this horse shit?
How many spell slots do you have?
2, so none.
Oh god.
This
I
is
mean,
a
I get him back at a short rest, but I'm not going to
Oh,
be
yeah.
resting while I'm driving.
Yeah. So, Demon Grinder is up to 6, and you head out. You good
Can
with
we
that?
take a short rest since
Nah, let's just go.
all place looks rough?
We just got out of a long rest.
Yeah, you just
I know,
woke
but
up,
Alsace
finished
is a
breaking
delicate
camp.
noble.
I appreciate your concern, Petra, but I'll be fine.
Hmm.
So you load up, and we'll go to the map. A map.
Map Hamill.
Map Hamill.
And
Oh man, the talking map who makes me look like a big old liar because I'm like, this map just talked, and y'all are like,
Mm.
and you guys are at the Bone Brambles over here. And you head out, and you start kind of just wandering. Do you have any direction in particular you would want to head?
I kind of want to move toward these weird tentacle things. I mean, they look interesting. Or maybe this giant demon with like a weird, I don't know if that's a sword or a.
Wait,
Maybe
didn't
a
we
pole
learn that demon's name?
That one?
Not on the ship chart, so I don't know.
Pazuzu.
I don't think you've learned that one.
I don't know. We could go this way. There's a giant sword here. I mean, maybe somebody could use that if we could wrest it out of the ground.
I mean,
So-
whichever way we're going, it doesn't matter because my map doesn't mean shit. Let's pick a
Don't
direction.
let the
go.
map hear you say that.
Yeah, you kind of.
I will definitely let the map hear me say that.
We love you, Map. Map Hamill.
Map Hamilton.
No, kitchen.
Let's
Map
go.
is specifically going to start leading us in the wrong way now.
Let's go north.
Mm,
Okay.
North toward this weird thing
Sure.
that looks like the Eye of
the Eye of
Sauron.
Sauron.
We're going to Mordor through what I'm pretty sure is acid rain.
Or P. I mean, it's hell. It
That's
could
the
go either
best
way.
type of rain.
I'm
I
fine
was
with
just
going
picking
to,
a direction.
Yeah.
let's take the hobbits to Isengard. Yeah,
So-
let's go to the,
Yeah.
the tower.
Eye of Sauron.
I'm sure the Eye of Sauron is where the hot springs are.
So
Makes sense, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
this looks like some kind of liquid. It could be near there.
So you start heading north as best you can hope, because you have learned that Avernus landscape and travel is weird as fuck. And here's my thing. After 6 hours of travel, the Demon Grinder starts to lose its juice. The screaming wails start to die down.
Aww.
Any other spellcasters want to contribute?
And you see that you are approaching some weird looking things flying in the air.
Blue over it.
We're in hell. Yeah.
Give me a little more
We've
specific.
been approaching
Yeah.
nothing but weird looking things since
Yeah.
we got here.
It's like a
I'm-
normal house.
I'm looking for the actual descriptor so I can read it.
We're like, that doesn't belong here.
You see,
What's
Trying to
Noble's
kill us.
shop doing here?
you see this.
Eye of Sauron. Oh.
A gigantic
like a
sack
beehive.
of wet, papery material floats high above the surface of hell. Angelic figures with feathery wings stick to its surface like flies in amber, their bodies struggling futilely underneath layers of the gunk. Iron chains at the bottom of the structure tether it to the hellish landscape.
That is 100% murder wasps.
That's
yeah,
like
that's
a
exactly
fly.
what I was thinking.
And you do see several wasp-like creatures. And let me see if I have an
Okay.
image to share for that.
Looks like a paper wasp hive.
What if we mounted them?
Well, I found out the hard way that if you burn a paper wasp nest, it burns the nest and the wings of the wasp, but not the wasps themselves. So Don't do that in real life. Learning
So
from
you
my
just have
mistakes.
angry wasps without wings.
Yeah, they
Angry
did not
crawling
They
do
just
that.
crawl toward you rapidly and
Anyway.
angrily.
That's that story.
Oh
More
god.
exciting adventures from my child. Oh, that's definitely a murder
Yikes.
hornet.
Yeah.
Thanks, 2020.
You see large creatures. Medium creatures? No, large.
Well, are they
large.
horse size?
They're large creatures. They are horse-sized wasps.
So we could ride them.
You could
I don't know if
definitely
they can
try.
defend-
I bet those hairs they have on their back would chafe your thighs something awful.
That's why you use a saddle blanket.
Big brain.
Yeah, you see them swarming around these hives. Do you steer clear?
I sure
Describe
hope
these
so.
angelic creatures that are stuck in the top. I mean, they look like they're alive still.
They look like they
My
are alive.
My grinder came to a stop, right?
Yeah, well, the demon grinder is sputtering out at this point. You do have 2 soul coins.
I do. But how do they feel
Your
about it?
friends.
Probably screaming rude things again.
Yeah.
Don't ask.
This is the one. This is the one that we can't put spell slots into, correct?
No,
I
the
think
demon
we can
grinder you can. The tormentor you can't.
Yeah.
Oh,
The demon
Those ones
grinder,
still have
no.
plenty of fuel left in them.
So, wait. Okay, first of all, most people have an angel and a devil on their shoulders, but you just have 2 horrible tormented spirits whispering to you at all times. But, like, if they're still alive and they're angelic creatures, I mean, 1, shouldn't we help them? And 2, if we help them, maybe they'll owe us.
Yeah, so these angelic creatures are definitely trapped, and it looks like they are being used to keep these hives floating in the air.
Oh, it's crummy. They're so tired.
Because if
Those
we
wasps-
remove,
There is more than 1 hive as well.
yeah, if we remove the angels, I'm assuming the nest would just crash on the ground. And normally, when you see a wasp's nest just like crash on the ground, that's not a good sign.
Well, what's
And
underneath it? Is there like a fiery something?
it's just the landscape underneath. These are about 100 feet above the surface of Avernus, but there are chains that are tethering them up to that. So you'd have to climb. It's up to you
We
guys.
don't
Mary Penn.
climb.
Mary Penn says that this isn't our mission. We have other things that we gotta do.
Well, that is
On-
true.
You can always
Mon
try and
doesn't
come
like
back
Part of
later.
road trips are all the stops along the way.
If they come after us, then we can deal with it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
currently,
We
what
can
if-
always just sneak by with our screaming war machines that are yelling really loudly.
One of them's currently puttering out of gas.
I turn to Lulu and I
It's-
say, Lulu, look at those poor suffering angels. What do you think we should do?
I say, Lulu, look at those giant ass wasps. Can we go?
What
That's
if,
fair.
hear me out, what if, instead of just trying to climb up there and fight all of them, we crashed the war machine that we're not using into one of those chains and hopefully like uprooted it. And maybe it would just fly away.
well, if it flies away, your angels are still going to be tethered and then flying.
Yeah, but
And
the
they're
wasps
just
won't have it
flying away
either, so
with the
maybe they'll have
wasps.
time to, work themselves free.
But then the wasps become mobile because the angels can now fly around with a wasp nest.
But clearly somebody doesn't want that. That's why it's chained down.
Yeah, there are probably 4 to 6 chains tethering each of these to the ground.
What if we... Actually, never mind, because setting them on fire would not be a good idea. I
Yeah,
was just
because-
gonna say
Real
set it on
world
fire and
examples with their
leave.
fantasy wasps. And you know what? Maybe angels are okay with being set on fire. We've never asked.
Yeah, we've never...
So, do you want to do things with the wasp nests, or do you want to keep looking for the emporium?
Maybe the angels know where the emporium is.
So if you want to try and save all of the angels, there are 11 nests here.
Oh, I'm fine with them dying, you know?
Here's the thing.
We
We
released
still have to
one
save-
nest.
We still
And-
have to save Eltero.
That is true. But
Yeah,
angels could probably save Elturel. I mean, look, they're keeping this whole hive afloat. They could probably fly Elturel back up to the surface.
So a hive versus a whole city.
That's a big hive. And if we rescued all of them, that's way more than like just enough to keep one hive afloat.
But then how many wasps can we see around in the area?
A good chunk.
So more than 11.
Yeah, more than you could probably. Like, you would have to be very sneaky, stealthy.
Well, I'm going to ask the voice of reason, Lulu, what we should do.
Well, I don't like the wasps, and while it'd be nice to help, I think we'd die.
See?
Uh-huh.
Lulu fears
Wise
death.
words.
We're kind of outnumbered.
Petra just puts a level gaze on Lulu for a moment, thinking about how Lulu so callously judged Alsace as not being the man she thought he was after she took damage from her sparkle spray. But she's letting these angels live entrapped for eternity. Okay.
We might be able to help them out later.
I mean-
no, Petra begrudgingly admits that
Okay.
She's not foolish enough to rush into a situation where death is almost certainly the outcome.
If we die here, we can't save all of the people trapped in Elturel. There's so many people, so many children there, and they might die.
When
we take our
Lulu
fun.
is doing this, Alsace like still has his hands on his wheel, but he's like doing the mouth thing.
Okay. We take our fun new bag, and then we just put the wasps in there,
That
All
is
of them.
true.
and then they're
Oh,
gone.
that's so
And they're
smart.
gone.
That's perfect. Between our bag of holding and our weird new bag, we could just
We
sneak
can-
up on every wasp.
You know what we can do with that bag, that weird new bag? We can put it on a stick and make it into like a bug catching net.
Like Animal Crossing.
Oh my gosh, this is such a great idea.
I have
That is
no
an
idea what
excellent
Animal
idea.
Crossing is, but yeah, sure.
It's a game I play where I catch toads with a net.
Gotcha.
And that wasp could be Captain Cosmonaut that we send to explore.
All
right.
Do we want to get one?
Oh my god. I don't think the bag's big enough to hold a whole wasp. It's like the size of a horse.
Okay, let's try and fit a horse in there first.
no,
And then we'll be able to see it.
Okay, guys, here's our plan. We leave for now. We find a horse. We put the horse in the bag. Then we come back for the wasp. Solved it. Let's go.
It's not hard to find a horse.
Oh no, not Nehru.
We're not putting Nehru in the bag.
You could always resummon her. So.
Nehru, if we resummon Nehru after putting her through that bag, it's going to be like Event Horizon. She's going to come back with no eyes.
She'll come
Oh,
back
God.
like inside out.
She'll be like,
"I
we don't
have
need
such
eyes.
things to show you."
She speaks in Infernal now. Yeah, that makes sense.
All right, so it's decided. We're going to say go to hell to the angels and peace out.
You can
Well,
always.
I think that,
Yeah, we'll come back.
We'll come back.
oh gosh, do
let's
any of them
highlight.
make eye contact with us as we drive by?
I'm avoiding eye contact.
You're like,
make a perception check.
Oh no.
no.
I just want to make
Petra.
a note of this now. The next like wild horse we see or horse that is unattended, I will be putting in the bag.
Oh no,
Or-
I critted my perception
or-
check.
Or a horse-like creature.
Yeah, or horse-like creature.
So while they aren't focusing on you, they do notice you when they're passing because your war machines are just driving through the through Avernus. So
Yeah, and because we kind
Rolling
of like
down the
slowed
street.
down and rubbernecked at them as we went by.
No.
So, what are you doing about the demon grinder puttering out? Who's all in the demon grinder right now?
I am.
Pretty sure I am.
Okay.
I
So
think
you
almost all of us are.
well, one person is driving. So it's Petra, Ash, and Marypen in the demon grinder. Or wait,
No,
I'm
Ash
the one
was
who fueled up the demon.
or no,
That's-
Petra,
that's-
Mon, and Marypen. No.
what? Who's driving the tormentor?
Yeah. Who's driving
I
what?
thought we just left that parked.
You were going to bring it to sell it, I thought.
Oh, we loved it.
We had to bring that with us so we can sell it.
I didn't put any money in the
In the meter?
The meter.
The bone meter.
The
I
bone
mean,
meter.
we just unfolded the little windshield cover so that it wouldn't get too hot inside. And we took the steering wheel off. Who's gonna steal it?
So Ash was on the
Devil's
demon
Ride.
grinder or the devil's ride?
Devil's Ride.
Devil's
Okay.
Ride.
Who had the tormentor?
I assumed that I was driving the demon grinder because I fueled it up.
Okay.
Right. And I was in the big one, which I think is the demon grinder.
Yep. So who's driving the tormentor?
Who's able to drive the tormentor?
Anybody can drive them.
Anyone can drive it.
Yeah.
You didn't know license as hell.
Don't put
Fair.
captain. Don't make captain drive the.
You just see the taxidermy captain on the steering wheel.
I guess
Mon-
I could be
Okay.
driving it.
Marypen, would you be with Mon in the tormentor so that Mon wasn't alone, or would you be in the demon grinder?
I would be in the demon grinder so I could help refuel it.
Okay.
That's smart.
So how are you going to fuel the demon grinder then?
Well, I don't have any soul coins, so I would use a spell slot.
Okay. There are soul coins. I think Alsace has 3 right now,
And I think Ash has 2, right?
but Ash is on the devil's ride.
Oh yeah. Could
Or
we
no.
make Ash hand him over? Well, be like, Ash, you keep one in
Oh.
case your devil's ride needs some gas, but we better keep some of these like on board the thing to pop in the slot.
Well, Alsace has 2, Ash has 2, Mon has 2. So there's 2 in each machine.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay, never mind. You keep
So-
your two buddies, Ash.
So-
Oh, okay.
So do you
Oh.
do you want to use a soul coin or do you want to use a spell slot? It's hour per spell level.
How long do the other ones have?
10 hours each. The
10
devil's ride and the
hours?
tormentor.
This was a person. You were a person.
We appreciate your service.
Oh no! Oh, that's some deep commentary.
I mean, you can ask.
Really good thing Petra's not chaotic, because me, the
I
players.
was just gonna. I mean, I have no qualms with using a soul coin, but I know that we purposefully adjusted these machines to use spell slots so that way we wouldn't have to use soul coins. So
That is
Also,
true.
we might need soul coins to spend at the emporium.
That's
Right.
a good
I want to
point.
go to that
Yeah.
restaurant. Good point.
They are
So,
the
I will
currency for
use-
everything.
Yes, they are.
I will use a. How many 4th level spell slots do I have right now? 1? Yeah, I'll use my 4th level spell slot.
Okay, go ahead and make a con save.
Man, my allergies are acting up. Sorry.
Where? So if my token isn't, I can't select my token
You can't select your token. Oh, there is no token.
because there is no token.
Here, we'll just do this.
If you go to if you're in the part, yeah, you can do that too. But also you can click the little like people thing in the upper right. See the party, and then click on your character sheet that way.
So you only had one 4th level spell slot, you said?
Yeah.
So so it is charged for 4 hours, you assume, and a 3rd level spell slot is also consumed.
Okay.
Oh.
That's fine.
Okay, well, I'll get a nice rest at the spa, right?
Yeah.
Is there like a little needle on like a gas gauge that goes up? So I'm going to do that.
It's the scream level.
Wait, it also screams even when we're not putting souls into it? Is this made out of souls?
It's
Welcome to hell, where everything's made out of souls. The rules don't matter.
It could be like the Wraith, world where everything is made out of souls.
yeah. So you charge it for another 4 hours. I need someone to roll me 2d4.
Sure.
I can't even have my dice off.
Snake eyes.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Okay. So you find yourself, and give me a d20.
$14.
So you travel for another 4 hours, and you still haven't come upon the emporium. It's been pretty barren. You've got the lightning storms going around. You see an occasional meteor come down, but your demon grinder is on empty again, and your devil's ride and tormentor only have 6 hours.
What if we just get out and start yelling his name?
Right.
I mean, considering how hell works, that might actually work, so I don't...
I'm just saying, didn't somebody say something about how the Emporium just seems to find people, or people just seem to find the Emporium when they need it?
Well, what I do is when the meteorites strikes by, I make a wish on the shooting star.
So smart.
I know,
You're so
right?
clever, Ash.
I should do that too. Me and Captain will start wishing on shooting stars.
So what are you doing?
I'll say blows some like sweaty hair out of his face, and he's like, "I've been driving this damn thing for 8 hours. I'm done.
Oh,
Yeah, so
I'm done for the day."
yeah, you guys started. If you do continue to go after 8 hours, you will be pushing into exhaustion.
oh,
Nope, you need to take a break.
Do we want to try and figure out like a place to stop?
This looks fine. Set up your hut.
Hut
Can we like
time.
position? Can we position our machines into like a little?
Triangle.
You're gonna circle
Triangle.
the wagons?
Get like a wagon circle.
Yeah, you can do that. You're just going to stop right in the middle of where you are?
I mean, we're out of
what's
gas.
around us?
Yeah.
Other than
Oh.
lightning.
Unless
Go.
there's like a craggy outcropping we could like pull up behind nearby or something.
Yeah, go ahead and make a
Actually, that would be
survival
smarter.
check, whoever's looking.
I will
I
be looking.
will look because
Who's the best at surviving?
Okay, I'm proficient survival. However, Tony, do I roll disadvantage on skill checks since I have the
It was
I roll
just
for-
perception.
Just perception? Okay.
Or for which part? Because of the soul coins or because of your...
Because of the soul coins.
If you're carrying more than that, let me double check.
All right.
Is there a way to turn you up, Kat? Because you are just a little quiet.
No, I'm being quiet, and I don't know what I did to make this happen.
Did you
Oh no!
did you check your volume level in Zoom?
I checked on Zoom, it's at 100%. I checked my volume settings on Windows, and it's at 100%. So I
if
don't know.
if you go to your sound in your control panel,
Okay.
you can actually go to the microphone and look at the properties, and you can bump the level up, usually past 100%. I don't know if they changed that though.
Otherwise, I will just listen. Listen real hard.
I'll just talk really, really loudly. That should not be a problem for me.
Just yell. So if you are carrying more soul coins than you are able to, you have disadvantage on attack, ability checks, and saving throws.
Okay, so disadvantage it is.
Foist one off. Hand one over.
I rolled my my survival check on D&D Beyond, and it wasn't connected to Foundry because I forgot to do that. I got a 23.
Okay, so yeah, between you and Mon, you are able to find what looks to be for Avernus' sakes, a nice rocky outcrop that you can set up around and take a long rest with.
Do I see any horse-shaped objects?
There is a rock that looks like it's horse-sized.
Okay, who's gonna help me put this rock in the bag?
I don't know if I can lift a horse-sized rock, but could you try to fit the bag around the rock?
Who wants to help me put this rock in the bag?
Oh, how heavy is a rock?
Oh my goodness gracious.
It is a horse-sized rock.
It's a horse.
Oh wow. Okay, my push, pull, lift, drag, horse-sized rock is no. I'm trying though.
Make your check at disadvantage.
I contributed. Make a what at disadvantage?
Make an athletics check at disadvantage.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Can I also? I'll.
Oh, hold on.
Oh, look
Oh.
at that!
Oh my
You're
god.
so strong.
It was a 23 with the disadvantage. So
Still
you're
really.
you're
It's
able
still
to
really good.
you're able to try and actually get the rock rolling a little bit, but there's not enough. Like, you can't open the opening big enough for the rock to get in.
What happened if we cut the bag?
Ooh.
Then what if that?
Would that not destroy the properties of the bag?
Well,
I don't know.
let's think about this. Let's think about this.
Right.
The
I'm
horse,
listening.
the horse-sized rock. I'm assuming, does it have like a head shape similar to like how it'd be easier to like slip the bag over a head first, or over like the butt?
That's
'Cause
what I
it's
was
smaller,
telling you.
instead of just like a full-on like rock.
What if you put your arm in it?
What if you put your arm in it?
I'm not nearly as
I'm here.
courageous.
I'm walking away from the keyboard. The lighting is irritating, so hold on.
Alsace is completely disregarding all of this horse rock attempts, and he is just sitting. He's taken some of the water from the alchemy jug and put it in a little bowl. He's taking his braid out. He is trying to salvage his hair
No,
after it was
no.
so sweaty and tangled from 8 hours driving.
Put some mayonnaise in there.
Go ahead and make a.
Oh my God.
What would be good for this?
Wait, for Alsace's hair?
Yeah.
Wait, does Alsace look like Lucrezia?
There's definitely some family resemblance.
Make me a Constitution saving throw at advantage.
Okay.
Because you
how
are.
do I could-
If you do, I think it's. I know that when you're using it like this, I think it is. It's either control. I think it's control. Gives you advantage.
there you go.
I think.
Did not. Oh, okay. Well. That was with disadvantage.
Yeah,
but
it's
12.
it's still 2.
Yeah.
So your hair is getting dry, and
Oh no.
you're getting split ends.
Well,
Oh.
noticing his distress and that he looks and reminds her of Lucrezia, Petra comes over, kind of sternly picks up Alsace's brush and moves behind him and starts brushing out his hair.
Oh, thank you.
Can't have you looking disheveled.
He seems to like immediately relax at this pampering, like it's, familiar for him.
She does, however, as she's brushing his hair, say, "You should increase your mask treatments. This air in Avernus hasn't been kind.
Oh, I would love nothing more.
We could cut your hair."
No. No, when I get back to Baldur's Gate, I'm going to go right back to it, and the High Counselor, what was that guy's name from the Flaming Fist?
Captain Zaj.
Captain Zod is going to award my family for all of its service to Baldur's Gate. We're going to serve on the council. I'm going to have beautiful hair. I'm going to get my article back, and everything will go back to normal.
She keeps brushing it, although she occasionally gives it a slightly firmer yank than maybe she used to.
Ash is not jealous at all. She sees some high braiding Alsace's hair, but she's never braided my hair before. That's fine. I'm fine.
Your hair is literally fire.
Just fire.
Oh, so now we're just making excuses now, which is fine.
Can you braid your hair?
Wait, no, it wasn't Zaj. It was the guy who's in charge.
Ravengard.
Ravengard.
Oh,
Uldar
Duke.
Ravengard.
Old guy Ravengard.
Uldar
Is
Ravengard.
he alive? He's alive.
Yeah, we saved him. We
Okay.
could have popped his head off, but we didn't.
You
Well, we
almost
did.
I
did.
mean,
We could have
May-
suffocated him, but
Mary Penn would have been okay with it. Would have had
Okay,
a new puppet.
so you're able to take a long rest.
Wait. Quick
Wait,
question before we take a long rest. Could Petra use a couple points of her lay on hands to mend Alsace's split ends? It's holy.
She does have a cuticle oil pen that Felicity gave her.
That is true. I have that
oh
as
my
well.
God. Oh my God.
Yep.
I do have that.
Go ahead and give me a medicine check.
Also,
Okay.
You're
were we
used to-
resting with-
Go ahead.
Were we resting without a tiny hut?
Up to you guys. You don't really understand how your lay on hands work. You just kind of funnel the energy and, wounds heal. You're not really sure how to adjust it to cure split ends.
All my medicine rolls are so bad. The last time I tried to make a medicine roll, I wound up getting pounded by a golem or something.
Oh God.
I'll say smiles back at you, and he doesn't seem to realize that you were trying to mend the split ends. He just appreciates that you've been brushing his hair for a while.
Okay.
My sister and I used to brush each other's hair. This takes me back. I thought you were going to bring up the idea of somebody pouring some spell slots into the cars before.
That's
we
what I
get our
thought
rest.
too.
Oh yeah.
But I like where your head's at with trying to fix my split ends.
So, how are you going to fuel your stuff up? Your Devil's Ride and Tormentor only have 6 hours. Demon Grinder is on empty. And Mon was wondering if you were going to use the tiny hut.
We should use the tiny hut.
Okay.
Definitely.
I'm gonna fuel up the
Grinder.
grinder with some spell slots.
Okay. What are you doing first?
Oh, but roll twice.
Wait, before we take our rest, I can do that?
Sure.
Right? Cool. I'll use... Let's see. Use my 4th level and a 3rd level, right?
Yep.
I'll use... I guess 2 3rd level spots.
Okay, give me a con roll for the first one. Con save.
My token's not there anymore.
You can open your sheets too, but so it fuels for 3 and nothing additional. You don't feel that extra pull this time. Give me a con roll for the second one. And you don't feel a pull for that one either, so you fueled at 6. They're all at 6 right
and then
now.
I'll use a 2nd level spot as well.
Okay. Con roll. And you're good there, so it's up to 8.
And how much does the Devil's Ride have?
6.
I'll use a 2nd level on this Devil's Ride as well.
Okay, con. Okay. How many spell slots do you have left?
I have 1 2nd level and all my 1st level spell slots.
Okay. So you feel like the 2nd level you were putting into it and your last one are exhausted. And it feels like it just sputters and nothing actually makes it to the engine.
Oh,
Could I try using my burning hands? It's less spell slotty and just more something I can do.
I mean, you can try, but you're actually going to be throwing fire at the machine.
That might not be the best idea, even by Ash's standards.
It's
I mean,
like that.
We could try
Jiggle
it.
Lulu,
Just shake her over.
like pixie dust.
It's like
So-
pixie dust just falls in.
If
So for
you
that-
sparkles don't make something amazing happen, nothing will.
so for that last one, nothing actually went into the Devil's Ride.
Nope.
Can I try again?
With your 1st level slots. You don't have any
Yeah.
more 2nd. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Because we're about to take a long rest anyway.
Yeah.
And
Although
hopefully
we don't know we're going to succeed in that long rest.
Hopefully nothing bad happens.
You
You have your
will.
gauntlets if you really need healing.
We've got a tiny hut that smells like piss. How could they?
Please,
that
can you
was-
at least pee out the door? Can you stand in the doorway
Well,
and lean
the-
out?
The way that a tiny hut works in my mind is it's just an opaque dome. So it's a dome that just sprouts up around you. So you still have the same earth inside. It's not furnished. It's just an enclosure.
I thought of like a yurt. It's like a
Yeah,
yurt
tiny yurt.
type. It's a tiny yurt.
The tiny yurt.
So you do fuel 1 hour into it, but another spell slot is consumed.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm gonna be done with that then.
So you have
Appreciate your
7
service.
7 on the Devil's Ride, 8 on the Demon Grinder, 1 on the Tormentor.
The Tormentor only takes soul coins, so
Yep.
that's on the rest of y'all. Y'all have your soul coins.
We should jiggle Lulu. I'm not joking. Lulu, no one rides for free. Jiggle into sparkle into the slot, Lulu.
Cash, grass, or spell slots.
Can we make? Does
Lulu?
Lulu have spell slots?
No, Lulu
cast
has
Sparkle?
cantrips and her trumpet. Which
And
is
that's
her
not a
actual,
spell?
her trumpet. No, just like Burning
Oh.
Hands isn't
Like
a
an
spell
actual-
for Ash.
Lulu, you're not the elephant I thought you were.
Damn. He really is a war criminal.
Ooh.
Okay.
Being so mean to
Petra
Lulu
doesn't
today.
actually say that.
Okay, thank goodness.
Not within
Oh, my
earshot.
heart.
Just like I'm hoping none of us.
When you said that.
I'm gonna hope none of us are actually being like, so Lulu, are you a war criminal?
So tell me,
Mine
what
is.
crimes have you committed?
Lulu committed tax fraud. Known.
This is known information.
So, you take a long
Actually-
rest.
I might as well put a few spell slots in too, since apparently Lulu doesn't actually have spells. Let's see what I got. I don't have very good spells. Well, not very high spells anyway, because I am a paladin.
A half-caster.
Okay. Since we're about to take a long rest, which hopefully won't be horribly interrupted, I'm going to try to put in 2 second level spells into the grinder.
Okay, start with the first one. Give me a Constitution saving throw.
All right, let's see if I do this right.
Yep, so you throw
Yeah!
that in there, and it actually gives you double.
Ooh.
So you have 11 hours on the Devils right now for the first spell slot. Do you want to keep
Excellent.
pouring more in?
I said I was going to put 2, so I'm going to try one more time.
Okay.
Hopefully this doesn't go terribly.
Go ahead and roll. So how many second levels do you have in total?
I have 3 second level spell slots.
Okay, so it's up to 13, but you feel your last second level spell slot also get consumed.
No, I shouldn't have pushed it. It's okay though.
Oh,
You
Like
did good.
gambling.
It is like gambling, but it could have gone worse. Could have gone worse. At least I essentially got 3 for 3,
Yeah.
even though I didn't mean
Yeah.
to spend 3.
oh.
I don't tell anyone that though.
Of course not.
I meant for that to happen the whole time.
Petra's so generous.
But I'm going to hold on to my first levels because 1, they're just going to add like 1 hour, and 2, I don't know if we're going to make it a whole night. And I need those for my smites.
Yep.
And I literally only have first to second level spell slots.
Yeah. So you go to take your long rest,
Yeah.
and you are
Wait,
able.
Mon? Which one is the P corner, Mon?
The left one closest to the entrance.
Oh, what? So we gotta walk right by it every time?
Yes.
You do it at the entrance.
So you get up, you walk to the entrance, and then you pee to the side.
If I pee out the entrance, then everyone has to walk through it.
Oh my god.
What? No, you're still in. Oh, wait. Oh,
I guess I see
about
what you're
it.
saying, but
Yeah.
That's really smart, Mon.
Ash knows what I'm talking about.
what would be really smart is like having a bucket, like some kind of compost toilet.
Well, I'll do that when you make the tiny hut, okay?
I hope you compost in hell.
I'm going to make a gallon of honey during our long rest to make our rations taste a little less terrible. Hopefully. How does the honey turn out?
Isn't the honey gonna taste like ass too, though?
Probably. Hold on. How much
Does the
water
alchemist
can
drug
make
make honey?
2 gallons, fresh or salt. You just let me know what one you prefer.
every day? 2 gallons?
Every day, 2 gallons.
That's not enough. A person needs at least 2 gallons a day by themselves.
Well, that's what your rations are for.
The rations don't include water.
You suck on rocks, you know? That's...
I bet.
I could uncork the alchemy jug and then it would just kind of sputter out 2 gallons per minute. But then we'd go into the pea corner.
I'm just thinking like those hell hornets probably had honey.
Is it good honey, though?
I mean, I don't know. Other things that are made
That
in
is
hell
honey
seem to be
in hell.
okay.
Anyways, I'll
You
make some
you
fresh
can do
water.
8 gallons of fresh water a day, 12 gallons of salt.
Oh, okay.
It's 2
We don't
gallons
like
of
salt
mayo.
water, so
Let's save our money and
we
drink.
don't want salt water? Fuck. Okay, hold on.
No, let's save our time and drink salt water instead of normal water.
That's
I don't
why
see the
this-
problem here.
That's why this water tasted like crap.
I just assumed that somebody was crying into the alchemy jug at night.
It was Lulu.
Oh no! Just
I
hides
just
behind
can't
the alchemy
believe all
jug and
science
weeps.
isn't good.
Why do you say things like this, Mon?
I would just like to point out, hold on a moment, because Connor and I were talking about this at the end of the last game. Is anybody in this party good aligned?
Yes.
Actually,
Yes.
is it me? I don't think
Um,
so. I don't think I am.
Bellinor is.
Well,
Eleanor is, but not Mary Penn?
Mon and Mary Pen are. Or Mon and Petra are.
Mon is good.
I'm
I feel like
good.
I haven't been feeling that.
That's what you chose. That's what's on your sheet.
I assumed it would have morphed, but maybe
No,
I am.
not-
I still
Not yet.
It's Captain. It's Captain's influence.
I'm just saying, if Lulu's making the assumption that all of her friends are good, she is bound to be disappointed.
Yeah, she's blasted a lot of us.
Well,
Yep.
she's a war criminal, so it doesn't.
Yes, what does she care?
So Bellinor is good aligned. Mary Penn is not.
So we better hope that you're Bellinor when Lulu decides to like friendly fire the group.
Also, sorry about that.
Aw.
Hey, it was funny.
I'm just afterward I was like, I just hope it happens again where like the whole group gets caught and Lulu is shocked and like almost
you
all of
guys.
us crumple.
Lulu's just
It's
gonna
all
leave us at
facade.
that point.
After, yeah, it'll be easy because we'll all be dead.
I love how
unless it's
saw all
Bellinor.
things.
Why did all my friends die?
Oh God.
She turned and made it all Sace's fault. She's like, you're just not the man I thought you were.
Trying to guilt trip me when she just blasted my ass. I get sparkles.
Okay, so long rest. While you guys are in the hut, avoiding the pea corner, trying to get through your rations, mark off a ration.
Why can't you make a tiny hut with food?
I'm sorry. Next, you're gonna ask me to make a tiny hut that doesn't smell like pee. I don't.
Lulu actually chimes in the conversations. I think my memory's jogged a little bit. I seem to remember being able to change into a giant golden mammoth.
What?
And
Go on.
You just forgot that?
Hold on, Lulu,
I-
were you eating some of the fungus and the bone brambles?
no, but I think I served as Ariel's war mount when
Oh
we
my
were
God.
together.
All my rations.
I whisper to like Captain in my pocket. I'm like, so she is a war criminal.
So you knew Zariel well then? Do you remember anything more about her?
Well, I mean, she was my best friend, and I don't remember much right now, but I really want to try and save her.
Can you turn in? Do you remember how to turn into the golden mammoth?
No, I just know I used to be able to.
Is this like a common thing for angels to ride golden mammoths into battle?
I don't know.
Do we know anything about giant golden mammoths that sometimes angels ride?
Give me a religion check.
Petra is surprisingly not particularly religious, but we'll go for it.
Not that kind of paladin.
You do not.
Okay.
Catch. You don't remember, can't recall anything about angels and giant golden mammoths.
Would Mary Penn have read anything about that?
In Volo's guides, no.
Well, just in general, because Mary Penn just
Give me a
reads a
religion
lot.
check.
Mary Penn can read.
Can I make a history check?
Are you not that kind of cleric?
A religion check.
We have an unholy cleric and an unholy paladin. This is fantastic.
Unholy, she's just not holy.
Okay, not unholy, just not.
You do not.
The mortal realms.
Yeah, I don't know anything.
I don't even know if Mon would know what a mammoth is.
I
They're
mean,
extinct, right? So,
Lulu, if you were a mammoth at one point, do you think you could become a mammoth again?
I mean, maybe, but I don't know how right now.
I mean, maybe if you did a little, like said a little prayer or like push the right button.
Did a little dance. I don't know.
I mean, how did you unmammoth?
I mean, I just always remember being like this.
Hmm.
I don't
wonder if
remember
there's,
a
like-
lot. I'm sorry.
Can I give her a comforting pat on her little golden head?
You can.
Okay. Does she seem to respond well to that, or is she mad that I'm patronizing her?
No.
I'm just trying to comfort her.
Yeah, she actually thinks that you are there and trying to comfort her.
Okay, good. But she is. You know, it's just that sometimes, you know, Petra seems patronizing and she's not trying to be.
Patronizing.
Patronizing. that can be its own thing. Don't patronize me.
Alsace will say, or wait a minute, let me look at something here. Alsace will say, well, Lulu, you know, I'm glad that you still have such high hopes for Zariel, but I hope that you are ready to see a changed person when we encounter her again. You know, we can try to save her, but we'll need to do what's right for all the people, not just for your memories. Love can be right or wrong, because sometimes it can blind us to the true character of a person.
Damn, Alsace.
Damn.
Laying down the heavy tracks.
I know. But can we at least try and give her a chance?
Oh, sure. Of course. Maybe if you shoot your trumpeting sparkles of love, it will remind her of the bond you used to have.
I don't know. That sounds like it might hurt her.
Were you always a giant mammoth?
No, I don't think so. I could just turn into one.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so it's not like you were always a giant mammoth and something happened and now you're in your current form. You could kind of move back and forth between the states?
Yeah, I could shape change. I think.
Could I?
Well, if we keep jogging more of your memories, maybe you'll remember how to do that too.
Maybe.
Who here would know anything about shape shifting?
I'm curious about something. Hold on.
About casting
Use your bardic
polymorph.
knowledge. Aren't you like a bard?
Yeah,
Don't
about
you know everything.
casting polymorph. Can I just? You can see with
Mighty polymorphin range.
Polymorph and mighty mammoths.
Can I polymorph?
Which ranger was the mammoth?
The black.
The
range.
spell
The Black
transform a creature that you
Ranger.
can see within range
Nice.
into a new form. It just says a new form. If could I use polymorph to turn Lulu into a giant mammoth and see if that triggers any memory of how to?
Are you
Do you
asking
remember this
her?
state?
Mon, do you have polymorph this whole time and you haven't been using it?
I just got it.
You've been this level for a while now.
Like, that would have been my first order of business is check
Wait,
out
wait.
what I can do, but
Before you polymorph her into a giant mammoth, does the tiny hut have room for a giant mammoth?
For that, you need a mammoth hut.
Well, and any beast whose challenge equal to or less than the target's. What is Lulu's challenge rating?
I mean, her challenge rating is probably pretty good, right? You could turn her into a normal mammoth.
Lulu's
Probably.
God.
Challenge rating 5 for Lulu.
So
Oh. Tuffy.
Oh, she's got an even better challenge rating than Nehru, who's pretty badass.
I'm telling you, Lulu's OP. Don't mess with her.
a mammoth is a challenge rating of 6.
No! Could you turn her into like a baby mammoth?
Nope.
Which would still be bigger than her current mammoth?
She doesn't seem very receptive to this idea as you are talking about it.
Dang. Understandable, though. I wouldn't want to just be transformed into a mammoth.
I mean, it's not permanent, right? Right?
But she
No.
also already said she didn't feel like it. So if you do it, you're just going to go against her will and...
No. I was just trying to establish I would definitely not do anything like that to anybody without their consent. But, I really didn't know if it was permanent or not.
And you
it's
wouldn't
a
be
one-
doing it, it'd be Mon. Your hands would be clean.
Yeah, it's 1 hour.
Hey, but at least I'm good aligned.
Apparently.
Apparently.
I'm not saying you've been evil. I just haven't been getting outright good vibes.
That tells us that
man.
alignment is far more about intention.
That's a free D&D podcast name idea for anybody, by the way. Neutral vibes only. I was gonna say something, but Tony, I was angling for inspiration there because my card was "Love can be right or wrong" because from the lovers.
Go for it.
Aww.
Damn.
Look at Connor, all role playing, and I'm talking about Power Rangers.
Anybody else want to do a card while we're in a long rest?
Trying to think if this would be a time where Petra would talk about what she wants to be best at.
I want to be a fan.
I mean, you're pretty good at airbrushing. There are a few snags there, but I still appreciated it.
Wait, Duffy, do you actually comment on the hairbrushing?
No.
Okay, I was gonna be like, because I
I'll say-
definitely.
Nehru's hair yet?
I'll say so. Just appreciative.
Can we braid Nehru's hair yet? That has not happened yet.
Well,
We will
Nehru has
definitely
to be
break Nehru's-
summoned.
Nehru's not out right now. Nehru doesn't want to sleep in a pissy tiny bed.
Hey.
And we don't necessarily want to sleep with a giant fiery horse.
My
mean,
fiery
Ash
horse
might.
is very well behaved.
I mean,
That's good.
no, it's my favorite color on fire. But
If I hadn't burned all my second level slots accidentally, we could have summoned Nehru, and you could have brushed Nehru's fiery mane because it wouldn't have destroyed you.
all right,
So maybe it'll happen in the future.
I'll say wants to get fame and glory when we get back to Boulder Skate. What does everybody else want to do when we get back to Boulder Skate?
I'm actually gonna try to head back to Waterdeep, I think.
Oh shit, that's right. You're from Waterdeep.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna continue saving up money to open up my puppet shop. My taxidermy / puppet shop.
You know, Mon, I think it's excellent that you have such a strong passion for something in life. Petra does not seem facetious at all. She seems like she truly admires that Mon has a passion and a drive and a commitment. That's admirable.
Thank you.
You know, I think it's important to find something in life that drives you. You know, it could be many things, but people who have idle hands and idle minds all too often seem to cause trouble for others. Your hands will never be idle with those
Always-
puppets.
Always got a
Stuck up
puppet with me.
Oh, God.
How many things can I balance on my head? There we go.
It's a pity that those who are most often idle often hold power as well. I think that may be part of the reason why we see such corruption among the nobility.
Fuck the nobility. All my homies hate the nobility. Except for you, Connor. I guess you're okay. And does everyone know that
All
Petra?
face.
Or all faith?
It's been alluded to that Petra may in fact be nobility.
Would Mon be smart enough to figure that out? I don't know.
I don't think she's
think-
already said it.
I don't
Roll to find out.
But yeah, I think that it would be worthwhile to remove those who are not benefiting the people.
You sound like a revolutionary.
If I am, then it's because a revolution is necessary. I think that if the people work to serve the city and the kingdom, then the people who rule over them ought to work to serve them as well. Otherwise, they're dead weight, and I don't abide by parasites.
Oh. Alsace just keeps quiet about like, well, I hope you consider somebody spending all their time going to dances and writing gossip columns worthwhile use of time.
And Petra says, yeah, I don't think you say that out loud.
No. Like,
Oh,
kind of like raises his eyebrows and is like, well.
Inner thoughts.
Petra pauses for a moment. She's like, there are many ways one can be of benefit. You know, don't get it twisted. You know, some serve through the strength of their body, others through the strength of their mind, and some through the strength of their faith.
Well, you're a very strong person, Petra. What do you intend to do once we leave? Once we're done with this terrible place?
I don't know. I have various plans, but ultimately I think I will save the bunch by cutting out the spoiled fruit.
Alsace just keeps thinking you're going to try to kill him.
Actually, it's great that Petra's going to become an arborist when she gets back to Baldur's Gate. So.
yeah, that makes more sense. Yeah.
You know, I just think that places like Baldur's Gate could thrive. They could flourish if the parasites that were sucking the nutrients from their very roots were removed, don't you?
Alsace doesn't know whether to be extremely frightened or turned on right now.
Pen is just like, I don't understand the politics of Baldur's Gate, so I'm staying out of this conversation.
Well, healthy turnover, you know, exchange of ideas. He's clearly a little bit nervous now. He's not used to talking to firebrands.
Well, I think I will endeavor after I leave here to ensure that any city I come across has leadership befitting the role. I hope that they, indeed, and I can only hope that they see my reason. If they don't, well, I'm sure they can be persuaded. And she gives her polearm a friendly pat. I'm going to crush my enemies.
You say that to all the boys.
Petra laughs and says, "Boys." I don't dally with boys.
Yes, that's actually been established.
Yes.
Whether she, meant just boys, but men are okay, but
She never clarified.
No. Petra is a woman of mystery.
Just like we've never established. Where is she and Lucretia together?
Well,
a close friendship.
No,
So,
gal
Gal
pals.
pals.
Just Sapphoed her friend.
Also,
yeah. That's what I hope I can do. That's what I aim to do. I suspect I would do quite well at it.
I believe you would as well. I think, Lucrezia always had strong feelings about the noble class's obligation to the people and good rulership and all that. And I think hopefully, if this goes well, then perhaps the favor that I curry with Lord Ravengard could see her elevated to the council once all this is done with. And I think you've met her, as you know, and I think you'd find that she is a very befitting ruler.
Petra nods. Says Lucrezia is an uncommonly competent woman. An uncommonly competent person, I should say.
Agreed.
So that's what Petra has to say. She's gonna kill all the nobles. No, she's not gonna kill all the nobles. Just the bad ones.
There's a lot of
Anything-
bad ones out there.
Yeah.
She'll be busy. She has her.
Well, you know what she said about idle hands. Petra doesn't intend to allow her hands to be idle.
Nope, she's got plans.
She does. She's gonna stay busy. No
Squad
retirement.
goals.
Squad goal.
Revolution.
Anything else before we do long rest rolls and move to the next day?
I'm going to give my inspiration to Petra for that little insight into her character.
Okay. And then can I get everyone to give me a wisdom saving throw?
Oh.
Don't forget my aura.
Oh, how big is the tiny hut?
Um,
Like 10 foot.
that sounds right. Yeah, 10-foot radius.
Eric,
20
I think
feet.
Petra's aura is 10
Wow.
feet.
With your protective aura, Petra, my wisdom saving throw skyrockets all the way up to a 6.
Do we
Oh.
still get advantage for that dream walking?
Let's see. You left, that was for 9 days, 9 hours, 9 minutes, something like that, I think. And you left Fort Knucklebone, went to the Brambles, the long rest when you got to the Brambles, and left 1, 2. I think this is only like the 4th day. So yes.
Excellent. Oh, I guess I'll roll mine one more time then.
So yeah, 19.
Well, mine went up a whole 1. Nice.
Nice.
That's okay. Still over 10, which I hope is
Wait, should I roll again then?
Anybody who made it through, I think, right?
Only if
Oh,
you made
whoops.
it through.
Okay, I didn't mean to roll then. Or
And you rolled con saves. Or you rolled an int save and a wisdom save. Oh,
Oh,
I asked for
whoops.
wisdom. So you're good.
I got
So
I think everyone would be in my aura, right?
well, it's a 20-foot hut. It's 10-foot radius, 20-foot hut. So if you slept in the middle of the hut, yes.
Oh, away from
No.
the P corner? Yes.
Well, I
Yes.
definitely would not be sleeping in the P corner, so I'd probably sleep toward the middle of the hut.
Yeah, so you would all be cozy enough to sleep together.
My
Sleep close enough.
beautiful, comforting aura.
So shiny.
Okay.
So charismatic.
And
That's not the aura I'm going to use when I kill the nobles.
Alsace, Ash, and Mon, I also need a wisdom saving throw.
I did a saving throw. Oh, another one. Sorry.
Yep, another one.
Remember, you're in my aura. Dang! Not like Mon needed it.
power of the
8.
piss corner.
You're emboldened by the piss choir.
You do realize you don't have to carry all those coins. You're doing
I
Give
can
that
me
make
to
one of the
more
yourself.
coins.
I
I'll
can
carry
take
one
a
of the
coin.
coins.
I got it. I got this, guys. This is
Oh my
fine.
goodness.
Okay, so 5.
Okay.
While Ash is asleep, can I try and steal one from her?
You're gonna shove it in Captain's mouth?
I mean,
I
you
could.
can't carry more than 2 either.
Oh, yeah, I already have 2 earrings.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind then.
can- Take it from her and then give it to one of us while she's sleeping.
But are we aware that they're doing this to her?
Yeah, we don't-
probably
I'm
not.
not sure we
She's
even know.
being. Well, Rob, can you roll me a d8,
Yup.
Ash?
No.
For all we know, Ash is just being Ash, you know?
You know what? Probably.
That's true.
I will let you choose. Unless you want me to. You are now
No.
mildly phobic.
I'm a
You
wonderful-
acquire a mild fear of a certain creature type. You can choose. During the first round of combat with a creature of the chosen type, you are frightened.
Fey creatures. I'm already scared of red caps.
Fey creatures?
Oh,
Oh no, because they bullied you.
Oh no!
See if I can...
Now it's a phobia. All right.
This is what happens.
This is why we can't allow bullying to continue.
I have a question.
Yeah.
If I summon my spirit shroud or my spirit guardians, and those are Fey, would Ash be frightened?
Yes. Because Ash has a phobia of Fey creatures and is frightened whenever they come into combat.
Oh.
That's only if they're Fey. I can choose for them to be fiend, though, right?
You can.
But I don't know that.
You don't know I'm a.
I don't know
Nope.
that you're frightened of them. So, and that'll depend on if I'm Mary Penn or Bellinor when I cast that spell.
Oh, cute.
So we're probably gonna get at least one time where you get to bust out your fairies, and she's like, "Oh my god, what are those? Get them away from me!"
That's not natural. As I say with my head full of flaming hair.
Or that was
Well, that'd be fun.
You're not moderately. You're mildly. Sorry. There you go. Moderately is if you get up higher. So yeah, you're all feeling pretty good, except for again, Ash is now hearing voices and mildly phobic of Fey creatures.
Oh, poor baby. And none of us know this, so we're just like.
As long as they don't talk about scary fairies or anything like that, it's all gonna be fine. This is fine. Let's just go, guys. It's great.
Okay. I'll just help you guys with your long rests. I should see if there's a button where I can just give a rest with one click. Get all your abilities back. So you wake up, your war machines are fueled and ready to go. You've got 13, 8, and 6 hours. And you just take off and start wandering again.
Can we maybe yell out for the guy? I mean, just let him know that we're looking for him? Like.
You can scream into the infernal void.
It would be the first ones.
I cast thaumaturgy and I call out for what's his face. I don't use what's his face. I use actual.
Hey,
Yeah.
you.
Hey,
My
Spot
hottie.
Mahadi.
My hottie, my hottie.
My hottie.
My hottie!
can I try like singing a song to like maybe get him to come?
You can try.
Should I roll a performance?
Yep.
Yeah, do it. Sing the song of Mahadi.
Quite Macarena, but not
Oh.
quite.
it's a
Does not
decent
take
performance.
You could be like, "Hey there, Mahadi."
Hey there, Mahadi, what's it like
Emporium.
in?
Yeah, exactly.
In Storium.
Okay. No caravan comes rolling up to you ready to set up.
How rude.
Yeah, but maybe he knows we're looking for him now.
Maybe. Maybe
Now
not.
he's actively avoiding us.
How rude.
Can you like mentally send out a signal? Like, boop, 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 boop.
I mean, if I actually knew, if I had met him before, sure I could, but not this time.
So,
Also, I don't think I prepared that spell.
Wait,
go
don't
ahead.
like both? Don't both Mary Penn and Alsace like magically write letters or something to people? Could you magically write a letter to Mahadi?
Well,
only magically write letters to one person.
and
That
that's
is my-
what
that is my mother.
and that's what Mary Penn was just talking about. If they had met them, they could send.
Darn it! I didn't know that. I don't know those magic spells.
It's actually a weird pair of matching quills. Yeah. But, let's just keep driving. We'll get there eventually, maybe.
So, you take off. Is it the same layout? Mon and the Tormentor, Ash and the Devil's Ride, and the other three and the Demon Grinder? Is that going to be the
That
standard?
works for me.
Sure.
Okay. So you take off, and after 4 hours, after a couple hours, you end up crossing the Styx again. It's a different bridge, different land bridge, but you make your way across and just flow with it. And you make your way to another interesting location, because interesting is the word of the day. And as you approach, the landscape changes a little bit, and it actually becomes icy.
Oh my
Cool.
goodness.
And you don't have to get out of your war machines to investigate this, but this is what you end up seeing.
Hell finally froze over.
A giant slab of ice is wedged at the end of this craggy ravine. Through its surface, you glimpse a glacial landscape draped in snow. And as you approach it,
Mirror, mirror, made of glass. Look within, but at what price?
Is my freaking map talking?
App Hamill?
yeah, Map Hamilton speaks up.
I didn't quite understand what Map Hamill said.
Can we have a
Mirror
written?
looking within.
Yeah. Mirror, mirror made of ice, look within, but at what price? So over here is the giant slab of ice wedged at the end of the ravine.
Alsace, don't look at your appearance in it.
Did Map Hamill say this to everybody or just Petra?
The map said it. So whoever was
So
close enough.
Yeah, I was.
So it'd be whoever's in the Demon Grinder.
Okay. I would not be able to hear that then.
And you can keep driving. This is just what you see.
Okay. Well, I would definitely tell Alsace, who for good reason is very enamored with his beauty, to not look in the ice.
All right.
Oh, this is really pretty.
No.
I wouldn't want to see myself
No, I'm
like
not
this anyway.
looking. I heard what the map said. I'm just saying this is really pretty. The ice is just like not what I expected to see in hell.
And then Petra stops for a moment and is like, "Oh no, the others." Is Lulu with us, or is Lulu like flying with Ash?
It's Lulu riding with Mon and the Tormentor.
She can. I just assumed I was alone.
Lulu
You're
can
never
keep you
alone.
company. Lulu
Fine.
can fly between the 3 vehicles because she has a fly speed of 120 feet. She can just do whatever she
Okay.
wants.
Petra would tell Alsace to, if we're in the lead, I would tell Alsace to stop.
All right, if you say so. I'll say so. Put on the brakes.
Okay.
Uh,
And this was after
because-
4 hours, so the Tormentor is at 2, just so you know.
Because we need to let the other people in the other vehicles know what Map Hamill told us before they inadvertently decide to glance into this giant slab of ice that is right here.
Well, you're not this close to it. You're like driving by it, and there's a ravine leading down to it. So you can just keep driving. You don't have to stop.
What if we just melted the ice, you know? You can't look into the ice if there's no ice to look into.
That's true. And we do have people capable of making giant fiery walls. Although, could that melt magical ice? Because it's probably magical.
It is probably magical, and I don't think my shield could probably melt it, unless you think you could melt it, Gargoth.
That seems like some powerful ice down there. I don't.
I love how casual Gargoth has gotten.
I mean, I might be strong, but
Yeah, they're stopping. I'll stop too.
That's what we in the biz call sonic ice.
I hop out of the grinder and stroll on over to Ash, and I relay what Map Hamill has conveyed.
Okay.
So we should look into the ice, or
Well, I was gonna spread this so that we didn't inadvertently, accidentally somehow go down and look in the ice, but
right?
I
do it
probably
intentionally.
should have thought
Read
that
you loud and
through.
clear.
Huh?
Do it intentionally. I read you loud and clear.
And Petra is now wishing she hadn't stopped to let Ash know about the ice. She definitely misjudged this situation.
Because now that you tell me not to look into it, all I'm going to be thinking about is what if I look into it? I could just look into it. It's
That'd
so
be
easy.
so cool.
Petra brings out Map Hamill and is like, Map Hamill, tell them about the ice. She shakes Map Hamill. Hamill, the ice.
It's okay, Petra. I hear voices too. It's fine.
Mirror, mirror, made of glass. Look within, but at what price?
Sounds like you're saying made of ass.
Yeah, I didn't say that.
Laugh.
My ass glacier.
I'm like, Map Hamill says this is a bad idea. On the other hand, Map Hamill also said that Red Ruth would open our veins and kill us, but that didn't happen.
I mean, she said she would open our veins, and she might still have to do that to read our fortunes. Doesn't necessarily mean we'll die.
I prefer my veins closed.
Me too. They work better that way.
I don't know. Red Ruth seemed quite enamored with you. In any case, you've all heard Map Hamill. You know what Map Hamill has to say about the ice and looking within.
We should do it.
What?
Well,
Why though?
why not?
we don't know what the price is.
Well, go do it, Mons. Go find out.
No, can't you just recruit another captain to go do it?
I don't have any alive captains right now.
Can't you get a swarm of rats to do it?
Do you think there are rats down here? Do you want me to try getting rats?
I mean, didn't we fight rats?
Rat people? What if it attracts rat people?
But
Then
then you
what-
control them, right?
Don't you control them?
Let me. I don't know if it includes rat people. I'm pretty sure it wouldn't.
Well, then scientific curiosity would say that you should try blowing that pipe or whatever just to
I mean,
see
if
what
there's
happens.
if there's rat people, there must be rats, right?
I begrudgingly pull out my
That's logic. That's just
pipes
logic.
of the sewers.
Maybe it will get like gerbils.
Fell rats.
How do I use it? I'm so
I-
confused.
You blow in it, I think. You just pucker your lips and blow.
Don't you just play them? Don't you know how to play instruments?
You're
I'm
bored.
like if I have to roll something for it, or if it's literally just nope. I just have to. That is what
It's a
I'm saying.
wondrous item.
Is it rat time?
It's always rat time.
It's always rat time.
It's rat time. I
And the fires
play.
are already stopped.
We're going to Chuck E. Cheese. We're having a rat party.
Oh god, could you imagine if Chuck E. Cheese is the only creature that showed up? We are in hell.
The costume.
Not even the rest of the
slowly
Good
towards
Time
us.
Band or whatever they're called.
The good time.
No.
You know, the Chuck E. Cheese lore.
The deep Chuck E. Cheese
The
lore.
deep Chuck E. Cheese lore.
Isn't his middle
Yeah.
name Entertainment?
Yeah.
Are you gonna blow it?
Yeah, I play.
For the whole party.
I play some music.
Okay.
What does it sound like?
Gotta get.
But played by the ocarina from Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
I'm
Um,
sure somewhere on the internet there's a cover of that.
so you play the pipes, and you wait a few moments, and nothing makes its way towards you.
What?
As expected.
Saying there's no rats in hell.
I'm saying you're in the middle of an ice plane in hell.
Ice rats.
Yeah.
Yeah, ice rats.
We just gotta
Maybe
thaw them
they're-
out.
Burrowing their way up right now.
Yeah, maybe they're just like frozen.
I'll say it's just like revs the engine a little and is like, well, if somebody's gonna look in the damn mirror, look at it. Otherwise, let's get back on the road.
But Gargoth look in the mirror? Gargoth is sentient.
Gargoth ain't dumb.
Nope, I'm
Gargoth
good.
has plans. Gargoth wants to
So
rule
we
hell.
don't
He
have
isn't
much
looking at no
choice.
haunted mirror.
Well, I'm not going to force anyone to look into the mirror. I legitimately did just stop to warn you about it.
See, that was your first mistake.
I realize that now.
All
Well,
right.
I had made
Since
the
nobody's
assumption-
looking in the ice mirror, can we just continue on our journey?
Yes.
Alright.
I want to go to a spa.
Could we make Matt Hamill look in the mirror?
He doesn't have eyes.
He doesn't
You
have
have to walk to the mirror to take things to the mirror.
close eyes, walk towards mirror.
See, I
Feel
did
around.
say-
How warm is the bag of holding? If we put ice in the bag of holding, when we get it out, will it still be ice or will it be water?
You don't know.
Hmm.
Have to test it.
Science says we should
Uh,
find out.
The science says we need to find out. So
Well, Petra says that.
So who wants to chip And Petra is science. I don't.
Petra
I
is
am
science.
the voice of science.
The transitive
should just-
property dictates that Petra is science.
Just name your character science, and
there is abstract notion of science as a concept.
So Ash, what you're telling me is you want to go up to the ice and chip a little bit off.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. So let's do this.
Like the mirror?
I mean-
Mirror X, this will be
I-
perfect.
there is some ice that isn't right up at the mirror, so you don't need to go to the mirror.
Yeah, but that's lame. Probably mostly normal ice.
Yeah, we're talking about magic mirror ice or whatever.
Okay,
Today
so
was how we finally found out how Ash died.
Roll my character.
so what is Ash doing?
No, I'm just going. I'm also equal parts lazy and stupid, so whoever's closest. Normal ice near our feet.
Okay, you can grab some ice and put it in the bag.
We'll wait till later to find out who knows or not.
All right. So, are we gonna just continue on our journey to find the emporium? Because we've decided that nobody actually wants to look in the mirror.
Unless anybody wants to make some mixed drinks real quick with that ice, then yeah, we should probably get going.
Okay, good.
Wait,
Petra's-
this is just free water, guys.
Whoa.
I mean, we don't know this ice will melt, and if it does, we don't know what's in it.
It's the liquid.
So now that everybody has heard my warning and Matt Hamill and is wisely choosing not to go expose themselves to whatever interesting but probably hellacious, wonders await us, we can continue on.
Okay.
But Petra's like, I feel like we need to establish a way where we can communicate between the vehicles.
Well, whoever's in the front should just keep Lulu with them because she could be our courier.
Good thinking.
I can do that.
Thanks, Lulu.
Excellent. I would have sent Lulu, but Lulu is riding with poor lonely Mon.
I'm not lonely.
Sorry,
I
Mon.
have captain.
Mon's never lonely.
So we have 2 hours left on the Tormentor.
Yeah. And 4 hours left to your travel day. So you continue traveling. And after 2 hours, you haven't found the emporium yet. And your tormentor starts to sputter out.
Are we still on the ice?
Maybe
Nope.
we should just pair the damn soul coins, assuming we could get back to her.
If you drop one soul coin in, it'll give you 72 hours with all 3 charges.
No, I meant
How-
pay Red Ruth the soul coins.
How many hours have we been driving around?
In total, since you left...
No, I mean just this day. This day since
4.
we got out of the time cut. 4?
Yep.
So we still have 4 more hours we need to drive.
Well, actually, 6, because you drove your 4, made it to the mirror, drove 2 more, and now the tormentor's running out.
So we still have 2 more hours we should be driving.
For the day.
We need to make good time.
Well, Tormentor, let's see. I mean, Mon, you got some spell slots. You could put 2 hours worth in there.
This is the tormentor. You didn't make
Oh,
it
yeah,
spell
yeah.
slot compatible.
Tormentor doesn't do it.
Oh, son of a gun.
Let's just
I
ditch
told
it.
you we should have just parked this one.
I mean, I have 2 soul coins, but if we don't want to spend that...
How are we going to go to the Infernal Rapture if we're spending all of our soul coins on something useless like a war machine when we could have
Yep.
dinner?
For all
You're
we
also
know,
you're also hoping to sell the war machine, so
Can we
For all we know,
tow
once
the
we
war
get it-
machine?
once we get it to the foundry, or not the foundry, the market or whatever, he'll be like, "Yeah, I'll give you a soul coin for it." I'm like, we just
Then
put a
it-
soul coin in it,
then it'll be an
Can
even
we tow?
trade.
Can we tow it? Can we tow this with our demon grinder, which is a bigger, stronger vehicle?
You can tow it, but it'll reduce your speed.
You know what? Since we don't actually even know where we're going, we're literally just driving to be driving, hoping we kind of stumble upon this dude. I mean, is that really such an awful thing?
I'm not opposed to it.
Yeah, I mean, 1 soul coin, because you can't drop a soul coin in and say only use 1 charge, because you expend the whole soul coin, would give you 72 hours of travel. Or, what did I say? What did I say?
I think you might have said 24.
I thought it was 24.
But we can
24.
turn it off.
Yeah, because you can
just
turn
let
it
Keep
off.
running.
Yeah, so that would 1 soul coin will give you 3 more days of travel. 3 full travel days. So, up to you.
I mean, if we spent 1 soul coin just so we'd be able to tow the other one.
I mean, you can tow it, and it would. You wouldn't get quite as far in a day. So,
Which again would only be a problem if we had a set place we were going to, but legitimately we have no clue where we're
Yeah.
going. So,
Road trip.
like
Okay, so alternative plan: we make as much noise as physically possible to attract the attention of a war band. We slay them, and then we convert another vehicle to spell slots.
I mean, we did say we were going to wreck some war bands too. And in fact, yeah, we have like a countdown.
since we
Yep.
made that pact, and by we I mean everybody except for Lulu and Petra.
I think it's like
Because
3 or
Lulu and
4
Petra
days,
are
so-
not dumb. You guys aren't dumb. You just are more willing to make infernal pacts
You
than
think
the
we're dumb?
paladin is.
Okay.
No, you're not dumb. In fact, most of you are probably more intelligent than Petra is.
That's not what I meant.
Mon is definitely not. Mon saw pretty lady and was like, "I'll do whatever you tell me."
Mary Penn is wise, not intelligent.
Oh no.
No.
Petra's fine. She's fine. It's okay.
I kind of like Ash's idea though.
One day y'all learn that all my ideas are great. So,
What was Ash's idea?
well, it's to make as much noise as physically possible, and we make other people come to us.
That's a really good idea.
Great
Just
idea.
like start banging in pots and pans. Sure hope a warband doesn't show up.
I'll cast thaumaturgy every 6 seconds.
Yeah. Let Lulu just do a trumpet of blasting or whatever.
So, while we're stopped because our tormentor has run out of gas and we're discussing the what we should do, Mary Penn is gonna play with that vial of demon ichor
Oh gosh.
just to see if it'll like make more scabs grow on their skin.
Wait, you put it on yourself?
So you
I like play with it between my fingers. Like,
Oh no.
so
Like how we play with Mercury, yeah.
yeah.
let me see if I have a.
We're gonna be using part of that water that we just conjured to wash you off.
Go ahead and give me a D100.
Do I
Or was
roll
it-
a save?
Oh yeah, give me a save first.
Con save. right?
Con. Yep.
It's a 13.
Nothing happens.
Okay.
And that.
I
That
didn't
use-
pour out all of it. I just like put like a little drop on my finger.
Yeah, there's. So, for the sake of this, we'll say that a flask, a health potion flask, holds 4 shots. You used a shot. You
Or
used
shots, like drinking ones?
Yeah, well, an ounce.
Oh,
But I'm not like drinking it. I'm just
No.
like putting a couple drops on my hand like hand sanitizer.
Yeah, it's very viscous, so it comes out pretty thick. So,
And desanitizer.
so yeah, nothing happens.
Nicer, guys.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it just doesn't do anything after it's been sitting in a bottle for a while.
You put that stuff on yourself on purpose?
I
On the
just
car,
want to just play with it. Look, it's all like slimy. And I like show it to Alsace. Like, you want to feel it?
There's a reason I flew over that lake. The answer is no.
Okay. Is
Well-
Petra in the vehicle with me?
Yeah.
I'm in the grinder, yep.
Petra, look. You want to feel it? It's all like slimy.
For science.
It's for science.
Petra looks at it and is like, "It seems you already engaged in the experiment. Good job."
Give them a little science badge.
Lulu, high
Junior
five.
scientist badge.
Oh no! Oh no! I just imagine you going behind Lulu and like patting her on the back and just kind of.
And she turns into a giant mammoth, but now it's a hell.
No,
A giant scab mammoth.
A scabby mammoth, oh god.
Oh no! Please don't. No scab mammoths in the car.
I wipe it off on my cultist cloaks.
Still
Well-
wearing them.
Of course.
Let's take a break. And then when we come back, we can finish deciding what you guys are going to do in terms of your soulless tormentor and travel.
Right.
We're taking a break on Scab Mammoth. Just leaving us all with that.
Just marinate on that idea.
We're at a good midpoint, so we'll be back in, let's say, about 25 minutes, 3:30.
Sure.
Okay. Be back soon.
All right. Bye.
We are back. And let me turn on the captioning before I forget, and we'll see how that goes.
Excellent.
Hopefully, maybe, yes. Catching anything?
The stream looks.
There we go.
Actually, where's my
Hello.
for
Okay.
the stream?
I should probably.
Ooh, okay, yes, it is working.
Hopefully, maybe yes, good.
The stream looks ice mic. Yep.
Oh, it's not getting me.
Only 4 viewers. Who isn't on Twitch right now, Bellas?
Come on, guys.
I don't know if it
Dedication.
counts me because I was in the moderator view.
Oh,
Let's see if I can get on there. I almost never am on there.
I mean, if not, it's okay.
Let's
we're
see.
back.
Is there a link or something for me to click? All right,
Uh.
I'm gonna click this thing. There we go.
Watch yourselves.
Make eye
Uh-oh.
contact.
Before you wreck yourself.
Make
The
eye contact with
broadcaster
your
told me this channel is intended for mature audiences.
Yes, because we swear.
Oh no.
We say the fuck word.
And what else did we say?
Lots
We
of
said
things.
piss a lot. I don't know if
You said that,
piss
yeah.
is
Okay. So, you all are... chilling. You've traveled for 6 hours on the day. Your tormentor is out of gasoline. Bad puns.
When the Devil's Ride also be out of gas at this point too, then?
The Devil's Ride has 9 hours. The Demon Grind... Or wait. No. Devil's Ride has 7 hours. Demon Grinder has 2. And Tormentor is empty.
Am I in the tormentor?
Yep.
Okay.
And you can put a soul coin into it to give it 24 hours.
If I recall, were we going to just attract more warbands?
How were you going to do that? Were you just going to sit in your cars parked? Because the
We should start
tormentor
doing-
can't move.
And I ideal world, we'll only attract one warband at a time. It could be problematic if we attract too much attention.
I'll
could-
put one of my soul coins into the tormentor.
Okay.
Oh no!
Goodbye, earring.
That's one less delicious meal at that restaurant.
I know.
But you might be able to sell the Tormentor for more. So the Tormentor now has 24 hours worth of charge. And can you roll a d10 for me?
Where's my D10? Eight.
So you drop the coin in, and the engine wails to life as a fresh chorus of screams come from the engine. These ones have a different tone to them because, different soul.
Is this like an alto, soprano?
You tell me. What does your tormentor scream like now?
Huh.
Is it just like a constant stream of Wilhelm screams?
Ah! Yes.
Okay.
I
So-
guess we don't need to attract more attention if our war machines are already screaming at the top of their lungs.
Yeah.
That's true.
We could scream with them.
Yeah,
It'd be
I think
cathartic.
the screaming goes for how far was it? I think it actually said.
Can I make it louder with my thaumaturgy?
Please no.
I won't. I'm just wondering if it's possible.
I would
Our
say
ears just.
probably maybe yes.
Is that like the equivalent of putting one of those glass pack mufflers on it so that it's just incredibly loud?
Oh
all the time?
god.
The screams
I
can be
gotta-
heard for 60 feet.
Damn. Yeah, I got a big penis. My tormentor go ah.
Oh no!
All right. Well, we got two more hours of driving left, right, for a full
Yep.
day. All right. So we do it.
All right.
So you continue on, and you stay on the side of the river Styx. You don't end up seeing it again. And towards the end of your 2 hours, you actually see what looks to be a ring of war machines parked.
How many?
Let me double check. I think it's 8.
The
a
war
lot.
machine.
Like a
truck
car
stop?
show.
Yeah. They're having like a little meetup. They've like got
War
their hoods
machine
up.
show.
Everybody's looking at each other's engines.
Where? Tell me. I know it tells me. Well, we can just go to the map. To the
Photo?
map, to the map, to the map. If I can.
I
didn't preload it.
You do not own any token.
Yeah, I don't have vision
Oh.
on this scene apparently.
I will give you tokens.
We need vision. Somebody drop a ward.
I think I can just do that.
Tag.
I don't
Tag,
need
hear
everyone.
it.
Tag, you're it. No tag backs. Wait, who's it?
I tagged all safe.
Okay.
Damn it.
Oh, let me just give it.
Oh, my screen got brighter.
There you go. You'll have to zoom out to see all the things.
What are you
Stop
doing?
rotating
Why
your
is it-
token.
I'm not trying to. I'm trying to zoom out.
Just use your mouse wheel. Oh, you
Yeah,
don't.
I'm just using my page down key.
Ah.
Now I'm just a little crooked.
Okay, so they got some cages with what looks like some maggots. perfectly
yummy.
normal thing to have in a cage.
There are nine war machines here. That was one off. So, as you approach, you see a collection of brightly colored tents standing clustered together, creating oasis of comfort amid the dread landscape of Avernus. Huge infernal war machines form a horseshoe around the tents, with curtains made of small rectangular iron plates and lamps dangling from chains strung between them. Soft, lilting music and wondrous smells drift across the hot winds, inviting a closer look. And you see the 9 war machines here that form this, but there are also more war machines parked around that are most likely owned by the other patrons of the Emporium.
I thought that's what this was.
The little farmer's market.
So do you
Disembark and hop on in?
Are those people's mouths moving, or is that flies flying around the screen? I can't tell.
those are people's mouses moving if you're zoomed out far.
Okay. I'm just zoomed out real far. Okay. I'm like, how did you do that to the map?
So, I mean, I could do things like that. You're struggling. So as you move up, you see there is a sign at the entrance, first of all, that says, all are welcome here. No fighting, no spellcasting, no exceptions, with exclamation points at the end of each of those statements.
No spell casting?
Well, now I really want to do this. Kidding. I'm kidding.
No fighting, no spellcasting, no exceptions. And I will copy that so you can commit it to memory. Oh. No?
Your screen went dark.
Oh, yep. We gotta go black out.
Yep. I really want a new computer.
Oh.
Wait, someone's screen went dark?
Mine.
Okay, I think the stream ended.
Did it?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
F.
Pay respects.
Interesting. It says it's still going.
Grr.
Grr.